Hi guys, I'm Sebastian.
I'm Kristine.
This is This Week in Vegas, the
Ninth Island Connection podcast.
I know, I just love that. It may sound cheesy to you guys, but we're sticking with it, at least for a few more weeks.
Everything is cheesy. Everything is cheesy from here. So welcome to our podcast. This is number 3. If you haven't already watched the first 2, please go back and check them out. They're pretty awesome, we think. We're a little biased though, right?
And give us some feedback. We want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you guys think about this new format.
So our podcast is everything that's happening this week in Vegas. We're talking news, weather, entertainment, and our own experience because we spend a lot of time in Vegas. Not only for filming for our television show, Ninth Island Connection, but also just for fun because we love this city and there's just so much to do.
That's why we moved here, guys. We love it.
Yep.
And there is so much, just like Kristine said, there's always something going on. This is truly a city that never sleeps. Anything that you're looking for, food, entertainment, the casino action, of course, road trips, you can find everything here in Vegas.
For sure. All right, so let's get into it, starting off with the news. The first thing on our list is that 4 TGI Friday locations have closed in Boyd properties. This is in Sam's Town, Aliante, the Orleans, and Gold Coast.
I don't know that there's too many people coming to Vegas to go to TGI Fridays, though.
But in those properties, if you've been to those properties, there's typically not a lot of dining options in those properties, with the exception of Orleans.
And which is a shame because Sam's Town is such a fun, funky property. Like Sam Boyd made a town inside the casino.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's really cute. And they have a little water show and stuff there, which is a lot of fun. I love Orleans. Orleans has just a really cool vibe and really great entertainment. They have the, Marriage Can Be Murder.
Marriage Can Be Murder, which is an awesome show.
Yeah, it's the longest running dinner show in Las Vegas, and it's great. You have entertainment, and you're a part of the show, and you have great food. It's a lot of fun. And there's also the Conjurers are there, which if you're into magic, that is a great show. Matthew and Natasha are awesome. Like, that was a great performance. I love that show.
For you folks that have been here when Vegas was what it used to be, which is what a lot of people say, Marriage Can't Be Murder, they were at Harrah's when it was the Showboat down on the Strip, if you can remember. That's like 40 years they've been doing their thing here in Vegas, which is just absolutely nuts because Vegas is definitely a city that reinvents itself every couple years. There's something new coming, something old is leaving, like Fridays, leaving Boyd properties. There's always something new happening in Vegas. So it's a true testament to these guys and the performance that they give, that they've been here for that long.
Yeah, for sure. And also they are having the Viva Las Vegas Rockabilly Weekend over at the Orleans. That's not going to be until April. That's April 24th through 27th, but that has been announced, and that is a big event that happens here in Las Vegas.
I think not too many people understand that Vegas is cowboy country. In Southern Nevada, this is the Wild West out here, and there's a ton of country acts and country-themed restaurants that are rolling into town now.
Is that what Rockabilly is?
Rockabilly, yeah, that's like, you guys tell us, what is Rockabilly?
I don't know about that. I thought Rockabilly was like more like pin-up, that kind of.
Am I in the wrong place all over again?
Maybe. I don't know. You guys let us know because clearly we're not familiar with Rockabilly type music. Anyways, moving on. There's going to be a new exhibit. It's a partnership between Cirque du Soleil and the Neon Museum. This is actually going to be all featuring Cirque stories from backstage, so a lot of the costumes and things that were used in different Cirque shows. Mm-hmm. This is going to be at the City Hall Gallery downtown, and that's going to be from February 10th through the 5th. Or no, through 5/10. Excuse me on that one. It'll be there from February 10th to May 10th. So definitely something really cool to check out, especially if you're a big Cirque du Soleil fan like we are.
And the downtown area is worth exploring. There's a lot of things like this in the downtown area. You've got Mob Museum, the Arts District, East Fremont. Once you get down around City Hall, there's some awesome restaurants down there. It's a really cool transition, and the city has put a lot of work into the downtown area.
Yes, definitely. And speaking of the Mob Museum, they're actually having a free admission day on Valentine's Day on February 4th. They're going to have a display one day only of the Tommy guns and other St. Valentine's Day Massacre items that are going to only be there for that day. And it's going to be free, so you can go check it out and have a fun, family-friendly day. It can be a great date. It can be just go there by yourself and check it out. It's a really cool historic place, and it's walkable from the Fremont Street Experience. It's just right there.
I love that they're having this because if you haven't been into the Mob Museum, they actually have bricks from the wall from the Valentine's Day Massacre. Actually holes. So people went to where this took place and were tearing the wall apart, hiding them in their basement. And the curators at the Mob Museum actually, over years, tracked all these bricks down and recreated the wall, which is really awesome. Terrible, terrible thing that happened, but just the way that they preserve that part of history and tell the entire story of not just the mob at the Mob Museum, but also the FBI and how they got their start. And really, they rose up together, especially here in Vegas. So it's an awesome, awesome place to check out.
Of course, if you ask Oscar Goodman, it's the
alleged mob. That's
mob.
right, alleged.
But it's a really cool place, and what more of a romantic date than to go check out a massacre scene at the Mob Museum. And then you can grab a drink afterwards. They have an awesome little speakeasy, which you don't even have to go to the Mob Museum to check out the speakeasy. That's in the lower level. It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't been to Vegas in a minute, you will notice that on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Flamingo, there's a brand new building. That's Blake Shelton's Ole Red. And it's themed after his other Ole Red restaurants throughout the country. Blake Shelton, he pops up there from time to time, unannounced, of course, because he can't do like an undercover boss type thing. But he is actually coming to Vegas, and they're kicking off his residency with ticket giveaways at Ole Red.
Which is really cool. You could just be there enjoying, the live music that they have there for free. And kind of free. There is an entertainment fee that pops up on your receipt.
But there's no cover charge.
There's no cover charge.
To be fair.
Yeah. And you could actually win tickets to go actually see Blake Shelton. That'd be really cool.
All you have to do is hit him up on Instagram, Ole Red. You'll find him. I don't think it's the Vegas one specifically. They have the one account. So follow them on Instagram. They're going to be doing giveaways. But if you're in Vegas, they're going to be doing giveaways in Ole Red here. And they've got, what is it, a Blake Arita?
Yeah, it's a signature drink.
His signature drink, which, I mean, whatever. Maybe he loves margaritas.
Yeah, and they're going to be doing like line dancing along with the music. So different fun things happening there. It's just a really cool place to check out. And I'm actually excited to see when Bottled Blonde opens up next door. Hopefully that is pretty soon because that's been a long, long awaited project.
And so I don't think anybody's a fan of that traffic, the pedestrian traffic in front of that area there. But people do it. And you know why? Because Ole Red is 100% worth the time to get over there.
For sure. All right, next up, there's a latest stop open for the Vegas Loop. And that is at the Westgate. If you're not familiar, the Vegas Loop is Elon Musk's Boring Company, and they created this underground tunnel system where Teslas take you from different stops. I believe there's 3
at the convention center.
Yeah, and then Resorts World has a stop, and then the latest one at Westgate. So it's pretty fun. If you've never done it before, it's a pretty neat experience.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, it sounds kind of weird, but it's it's just cool. It's going to be a great way, and that's going to expand through way different stops around the city and downtown. Hopefully, like to Allegiant Stadium. There's big plans for this, so we'll see what comes into play with that. But right now, there's 5 stops.
So you don't have to be going to a convention here in Vegas or Resorts World or the Westgate. You can actually just go in at any one of those stops and just do a tour. Just pay the fee and tell the driver that you just want to do the entire loop so that you can just experience it.
Yeah.
It's totally worth it. Awesome experience.
Yeah, and I want to say it's like 3 million people have already used it since it opened. It opened back in 2021. 2021, yeah. So it gets its use.
Yeah, awesome. And why wouldn't that exist here? Because there's so much construction in Vegas all the time, and everybody's using the same side streets. And this is the answer long term in the future, where it's going to connect the entire strip with the downtown corridor, so Arts District, Fremont Street. The plan is to have it head all around the Vegas strip area.
Yep. All right, next up. You love talking about jackpots. You want to talk about this one?
So I wanted to talk about this. You guys are all familiar with Casino Royale. Down there, holding it down on the strip there next to Harrah's. Now, it's a small casino, and think what you will, it's really kind of split. There are people that absolutely love Casino Royale, and it's a must, and they talk about the hot dogs and the bar.
White Castle's there.
White Castle is there, which we've been to many times.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side, or the other tourists that come in and don't go there because it's old, it's dated. But people actually win at Casino Royale. Somebody just won $227,000 just a few days ago down there at Casino Royale, and they were playing Wheel of Fortune, which is super popular with at least the Hawaii visitors that come into town.
Or at least one in particular Hawaii resident that comes into town.
Our friend
Yeah.
always has a Wheel of Fortune budget set aside. He's got two budgets. He's got a gambling budget, three budgets. He's got a gambling budget for Vegas. He's got a Wheel of Fortune budget that's a side budget, and then an airport budget. So 3 different budgets he's managing. But Casino Royale is low-key a really cool spot on the strip. It's probably one of the best locations that you could go to also, because it's so walkable to Harrah's. You've got Flamingo, you've got the Link and the Link Promenade, Venetian right next door.
Yeah, and
it's a great location.
And they have a really good reward program where, like, if you lose your first $20, they'll give you $20 back in free play. So, you know, you got to lose first, but at least you're getting something back. So I guess it's even.
Well, it's even, right? How'd you do today? Even. I've got my $20 back.
Our new coach, Pete Carroll, he is going to be our head coach for the Raiders, and this is going to be his 31st season in the NFL. So with all that experience, us Raider fans are really hopefully, that, you know, he really turns around our team, because we need it.
Well, we want to hear from you guys, because you guys that are sports fans probably heard about this, and there are mixed feelings. Because he's been 31 years in the NFL, should they have gone with someone as seasoned when the Raiders program is where it is right now? Or should they have just gone with a younger coaching staff? So let us know what you guys think. I think the Raiders have been so up and down since they came to Vegas.
A lot of down.
A lot of down. But they start hot.
Yeah.
And then just kind of gets messy. So let us know what you guys think. Did the Raiders organization, did they get it right with Pete Carroll? Or should they have gone with someone else?
Next up, Bruno Mars has announced that he is going to add on 7 more shows in 2025. This is going to be the last week in May and one day in June. So if you want to see Bruno Mars at Dolby Live, again, a great venue to listen to music at. Make sure you get your tickets, because those sell out pretty quickly. And I'm prepared to pay a pretty penny for those as well. They're kind of expensive.
And
they're totally worth it.
You're not going to be able to use your cell phone while you're in there. Just giving you a heads up right now. They're going to lock it in a little pouch and then probably sing a song about it.
Yeah. All right. Last up in our news is a new venue down in the Fremont Street Experience area. In the Game has opened. This was a $10 million arcade.
Yeah.
We haven't been yet, but we're excited to check it out.
It's right across from the D down there on the Fremont Street Experience, and it's an arcade. They spent $10 million completely renovating that spot that has been shut down for a couple years. It feels like there was nothing there. It's just kind of boarded up.
It's just been, empty.
So there's a lot going on down in the Fremont Street Experience. There's Crash and Burn over there in Neonopolis.
There's a new tiki place.
There's a new tiki place down there. There's this arcade. Obviously, you guys already know about Circa. There's a lot going on down there. I'm not saying that it's family friendly, but the city has done a lot to make it more approachable for families coming to Vegas.
Yeah, I don't know about Fremont Street, how I wouldn't take little kids there. I just wouldn't want to have the conversations with
Well,
them after there's some of the things they might see down there, and then you have like all these questions and awkward things you weren't prepared to talk about with your young children.
I mean, I think the Vegas visitor community is pretty split on just children in Vegas altogether. But I think what the city has seen is that there are a lot more families coming to Vegas.
And there are a lot of let me try, that's a tongue twister. There's a lot of family-friendly stuff here. On the Strip, just off the Strip. Now downtown is adding things. So, I mean, families are going to come here, and we see it happen, and I think you could have a really fun family vacation here in Vegas. If you really do your research and plan on what you're going to do and what you're going to avoid here in Vegas. But I mean, outside of the Strip and downtown, there's families. There's a lot of families that live here, a lot of kids that live here, so can't be all crazy.
Clark Griswold brought the kids to Vegas, and they had a fantastic time.
Yeah, and we all know that's a true story.
They won like $200,000 at the end playing Keno. So that could be you.
What was it? Mr. Papalopoulos? What was it?
All I know is he was from Arizona.
Okay. And an organ donor.
And he was an organ donor.
All right. Anyway, moving on. Talking about the Strip, we recently stayed at the Link, which, if you're not familiar with the Link, you haven't been to Vegas for a while, it was the Quad, and then before that, it was Imperial Palace. So it looks nothing like Imperial Palace, and thankfully it looks nothing like the Quad, which was, we used to stay at the Quad, and it looked like the Shining Hotel.
Well, I think the Quad was that was the transition time of the property.
Yeah.
Because they really transformed it, and they didn't want to shut down. I mean, you're not shutting down a property on Las Vegas Boulevard.
No.
Well, actually, Hard Rock did with Mirage.
Yeah.
So I take that back. They did not want to do that there, and the Link is nothing like the Quad.
Not at all. They did a great job all around. The casino itself is just really just fun. It has like loud music. It's just like lights everywhere. Just a lot of energy and fun. It has one of my favorite games there, Huevos cartoon. It's ridiculous, but I love it. But yeah, we had a really good time staying there. And they even have a new show there. It's called Disco Show, which is...
It's a Spiegel
World, yeah.
It's a Spiegel World show. If you're not familiar, they brought you Opium that used to be over at Cosmopolitan.
I loved that show. I wish that show was still here.
That
was so much fun.
Yeah. And then Absinthe, which is in the big tent outside of Caesar's Palace.
That's one of our favorites. I love that
show. And yeah, that's an awesome show. It's not for everyone.
And it
is an awesome show. Yeah.
They're more focused for adult humor.
And then you've got Atomic Saloon over in the Grand Canal Shops over there.
Yeah, so this is the fourth one that they have here, third one actively. And it's so different than the other ones. It's a disco. You go in and it's designed to look what I imagine New York is like.
Like 70s, 80s New York City when disco was everywhere. And it is fast moving. I mean, there's action all around you. Literally, you're in the center of a disco. If you're looking for something that's good for big groups, that's high energy, and definitely different from anything else that you're going to experience here in Vegas, that's one that should definitely be on your list.
Yeah, but if you want to sit, that's not the place to go for a show, because it is standing. You do stand the whole time, and you're kind of moving around because the show is happening all around you. So I mean, people will come out. I had the guy came in and was like dancing with me, which was awkward because I have those awkward moves. But it was a fun show. If you are into disco and you just love dancing, definitely check out Disco Show. It is fun. Also, when we stayed at the Link, we love. If you guys watch our channel, we love the Link Promenade. Mm-hmm. We spend a lot of time there, and that's because there's all the bars, there's the restaurants, there's entertainment there. It's just really cool.
That's where you find O'Shea's these days. If you haven't been there in a minute, my first trip to Vegas, 2008, that was just an alleyway there, because we actually saw a UFC fight at O'Shea's when it used to be on the Strip. That doesn't exist any longer, and this is not a dark alley any longer. They did a phenomenal job with this here. Like Kristine said, there's bars, there's restaurants. During the holidays, they have Christmas decorations and Christmas shows down there. That's where how you get to the link or the wheel, the high roller. That's what it is. There's a zip line going down. There's so much that is happening there. Totally worth checking out.
And there's actually the ice bar is there too, -5 ice bar. There's 3 locations of -5, but they're linked. They have one in the Link Promenade, and they just opened up that new attraction, Dreambox 360, which is really cool. That's like kind of an intimate, immersive experience. They have different shows, and you're just in this room, and it's happening all around you. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And they actually have an ultimate polar passport.
Oh, this is a great deal. And we just like sharing this stuff with you guys because you may not see it and you might be planning a trip to Vegas. You could do all 3 -5s and Dreambox and get some free cocktails.
And the high roller.
And the high roller, all with 1 ticket. And we did the math, which is why we wanted to share this with you guys. If you bought a ticket for each of those places, if you bought a cocktail at each of those places, and you bought a ticket for the wheel, or the high roller, depending on the time of day, this thing more than pays for itself.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And it's a lot of fun. And all 3 ice bars are so different too, so it would be cool to kind of check them all out, kind of work your way down the strip from Mandalay Bay to the Link down to Venetian. And we have a little code you guys can use if you want to save on that. If you go to their website and do your tickets online and you put in the code NIC15, we can help you save 15% on that too. So definitely, if you're interested in that, use that code and save more money because that's 15% off of that, and you can put that in a slot machine.
There you go.
And then send us half.
And you could be that story. Sebastian from Texas won $500,000 playing Wheel of Fortune at Casino Royale. That could be you.
That could be. All right, next up is weather.
So we have to talk about the weather because it massively impacts your trip here. And a lot of people don't know that it does get very cold in Vegas. I mean, we're in the desert out here. But February is kind of...
It's all over the place.
It's like, it's a crapshoot. Sometimes you're on a hot table, sometimes it's cold. That's how February is for weather here in Vegas. It could literally be 77 degrees, full sun one day, and 3 days later it's 50 and raining.
So this is what the weather's going to be like this week in Vegas. Yeah, I mean, it is really chilly at night though. So no matter what the daily temperature is, it is going to get cold at night. So you definitely want to have a jacket with you. And then layers. I always say pack your layers because you never know in Vegas. One day it could be nice, the next day it could be cold.
Well, there's 3 seasons that are going to be happening in February, right? You've got spring in the morning, summer in the afternoon, and you've got winter at night.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that. Pack everything. Bring your biggest suitcase and just throw everything in it. Shorts, t-shirts, long sleeves, jackets, pants, snow boots.
Hopefully you won't need snow boots, but it has snowed in February before, but don't jinx us. All right, let's move on into events. First up on our list of events is at Springs Preserve. On February 15th, they're having a Black History Month festival, which will have live music, arts and crafts, dancing, food vendors, and also historic photo exhibits, which I think is really cool. It's a family-friendly event.
And it's just minutes from the strip, minutes from the downtown area.
You can actually see the strip from there. You can see the Strat from there, and you can see downtown from there because it's so flat.
Yeah, so if you're looking for something nearby to do while you're here in Vegas and you really haven't gotten off the strip, this is a perfect start. You'll be surprised how close it is. It's like 5 minutes from the downtown area, and it's a completely different Vegas.
Yeah, there's so many things to do in Springs Preserve. You've got the walking trails. You can just walk around the botanical garden. If they have the butterfly exhibits happening, you can go in and check out the butterflies if you're interested in that. They have, what is it called, Boomtown?
They've got Boomtown, which you could ride a trolley into, and they've got some great...
That's a train. That's not a trolley. That's a train.
They've got, is it a train?
It's a train.
I'm just all over the place today. Calling trains, trolleys, trains. You guys know what I mean, right? Transportation while you're on the property. And they've got some old homes down there that are the actual structures that people used to live in when Vegas was just becoming a city.
Yeah, because everything in Boomtown was created, like kind of made after like different places, like the bank, the train station, the Arizona Club, but those houses are legit.
Those are legit,
Yeah.
like people actually lived in those quarters. And you can go inside and explore them. It's really cool. And again, something different to do here in Vegas.
Yeah, and if you're into like the history of Las Vegas, or into just like the desert landscape of Las Vegas and just kind of the ecosystem here, there's actually 2 different museums on the site as well.
Yep.
And admission to Springs Preserve gets you into all of that, so you really can spend a good portion of your day there. And in the spring, it's absolutely beautiful because that's when you're going to see the blooms.
All right, so these events or performers, entertainers that we're going to talk about that are coming up this week and the weekend, that's in addition to everyone that's already here. So like Disco Show is already here, Carrot Top is always here, Colin Cloud is always here. There's all of those shows. I don't want to call them regular because they are top tier entertainers and they put in work.
All the Cirque shows, yeah.
All the Cirque shows
there's
are
a lot.
here.
There's a lot of entertainment just without the entertainers that come in.
So this is just in addition to all of that, guys. So we have to talk about Yacht Rock because I'm behind the times with Yacht Rock. Apparently this has been a thing for about 10 years. It's huge. It's a huge thing here in Vegas. So you've got some Yacht Rock featuring the Docksiders over at the 1923 Prohibition Bar. That's over at the Venetian.
And I think that they're there on a regular basis now. I think they're going to be there on the weekends. That's
yeah,
where you can
as
find
of
out.
right now.
Yeah.
But definitely, we know they're going to be here the 13th through the 15th over there if you guys want to check that out.
Yep, and a lot of this is pretty similar to the last couple weeks. We have Mariah Carey at Dolby Live at Park MGM, and that's going to be happening on the 12th and the 14th. And then Janet Jackson over at Resorts World on the 12th, the 14th, and the 15th.
Which we have to talk about Resorts World. Even if you're not going to see Janet Jackson, go to Resorts World. It's an absolutely beautiful property, and that is one of the stops on the underground people mover.
Yeah, that Vegas Loop, yeah. Yeah. And then we also have Blake Shelton at the Caesars Coliseum on the 12th, the 14th, and the 15th. And again, maybe that will be a free show for you if you're lucky and you win those tickets at Ole Red. You can't win them if you don't participate in the contest. So that's an Instagram thing, right? And that's
All
how
you have
win.
to do is just go follow them, check out their Instagram, and you'll get all the information there. All right, we've got flashing back from my high school days, New Edition doing their thing over at the Wynn the 14th and 15th. Barry Manilow, he's got a lifetime agreement, or as long as he wants to perform at the Westgate, he can just show up and perform. He's down there the 13th through the 15th.
And then we've got, for country fans, we've got Keith Urban. He's going to be at the Fontainebleau on the 14th and the 15th.
Firehouse down at the Golden Nugget down there on the 14th. And we did see a show at the Golden Nugget in their showroom. And that's like a cool, like retro, classic Vegas showroom that they've got in there.
Yeah, it's definitely a classic Vegas showroom, but not a bad seat in the house.
No,
there.
stadium seating, kind of intimate. It was a really nice showroom down there.
Yeah, Firehouse. It reminds me of my high school days. I used to have all these posters on my wall of all the hair bands of the day, and Firehouse was one of them. Maybe we'll go check it out. Theory of a Dead Man is over at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas on the 14th.
Babyface over at the Palms the 14th and 15th. You've got Love and Laughter. This is one, please guys, if you guys have been, let us know the experience, because this is Toni Braxton, an amazing vocalist from my high school days. And
Long ago.
And then you've got Cedric the Entertainer. And these guys, they're performing together. They're doing this at the Cosmopolitan, and they started this last year because they came a few times last year also.
Yeah.
We've never been able to catch them because of timing. So please let us know if you've been to this experience, if you come now for this experience, let us know what this show is like, because I am genuinely curious to know what these two together are like.
Yeah, and I have to back up a little bit because you said Babyface is going to be at the Palms. And the Palms, if you haven't been over to the Palms, you have got to go check out the Palms. It is completely renovated and beautiful. They have so many different dining options there. Just something.
Oh, they've got that lobster lobster tail, all you can eat
Lobster
thing?
buffet, yeah, and like apparently like what they'll do during like the lobster, I think it's 2 days, right?
It used to be 1 day, and it was so popular they added an additional day.
Yeah, I think it's Wednesdays
Wednesday
and
and Thursday.
Thursday. And each Wednesday and each Thursday, they pick a table at random and they bring them out a giant whole lobster.
It's like 200 pounds.
It's not 200 pounds.
It's pretty close. It's the biggest lobster that you'll ever see in your life.
It's not. I'm exaggerating a bit, I think. Yeah, but they do have, it's a great buffet over there, a lot of different dining options and a lot of entertainment. They bring in a lot of different performances and unique performances too. And then of course, people like Babyface, who's been around for a long time too. Couple more, we've got the Eagles back here at the Sphere on the 14th and the 15th.
Heather McMahon over at the Venetian on the 15th. Ali Sadiq over at Virgin Hotels on the 16th.
And those last two are comedians that I'm not familiar with, but maybe we'll have to check out and see if they have anything on, like any specials on like Netflix or something, and see, because they're coming to Vegas, they've got to be good comedians. Mm-hmm. All right, that is it for this podcast, our third podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
And be sure to stick around right here on Hey Vegas. You can watch our television show, Ninth Island Connection. We have the first 5 seasons up that you can just binge watch. So stick around right here on Hey Vegas. Get yourself a Cosmopolitan, a margarita.
Or a Blakerita.
A Blakerita. Try to find the recipe online and make one for yourself. And stay tuned and check out all of the Vegas programming right here on Hey Vegas.